Just recently, a couple days ago actually, I was building something. I was building a racing simulator for my computer. And so it took a long time to come in. And when it came in, it was an 80-pound box. It was heavy. And it was full of just like a bunch of metal parts just all laid out together. And so when I got it all in and I opened it all up, and I mean they had like probably over 100 like bolts and nuts and everything, screws, all that stuff, and then all the parts as well. And I knew that I could not build that unless I had what? An instruction, a manual, something that tells me what parts go where, why they go there, how much to tighten them, and all that. Oh, I'm not that good. I mean, it was a lot of parts. I mean, it wasn't as bad as, so these Lego sets that they have, does anybody know that it's almost impossible to build a Lego set without the instruction manual? I mean, especially these huge, maybe the smaller ones you can get by, but like these huge Lego sets that they have, if you do not have the instruction manual, you just have a bunch of bricks laying there, and that's it. It's almost impossible to do that. And it's honestly usually not good if you finish building something and you have a lot of parts left over. They have a joke like when you're building cars or putting parts on cars that if you put a new part on or change the part and you have spare parts left over, that's weight reduction. You made the car lighter, congrats. But honestly, later down the road, it's probably not a good thing. You're going to have problems. Things aren't going to flow right, and there's going to be issues that come up. Sometimes we handle some of our biggest decisions of our life without looking at the instruction manual for help. So last week we talked about going down the road that seems right, but this week I'm going to talk about one of the main reasons that we end up on that road. It's because we decide everything ourselves. So I have a question for you guys. When you have a big decision to make in your life, who is in your circle? Who do you go to with these decisions? Do you actually invite anyone wiser into your choices, or do you mostly decide alone and then tell people afterward what you decided? Proverbs 18:1 says, "An unfriendly person pursues selfish ends, and against all sound judgment starts quarrels." What a quarrel is an argument. Purposely going at it alone does not mean that you are independent and strong most of the time. There's a song that goes, it's like independent. Yeah, you know what that means. Proverbs says it means that you're an unfriendly person and you're selfish. So that's the answer to that song. Don't listen to that song. It's a horrible song. But having sound judgment and asking for advice is actually a good thing. It's a biblical thing. Proverbs 12:15 says, "The way of fools seems right to them, but the wise listen to advice." Again, with that song, the way of fools seems right to them. The fool only consults themselves, but the wise person listens. So get this. I'm not saying that instincts are wrong. I know a lot of people say, well, my gut told me this, or, I went this way because the other way just didn't feel right, or that you sometimes can't trust your gut. I'm not saying that, but it has to be a gut shaped by God's word and godly people. Then your gut can be trusted. So the danger is wisdom that answers to no one but itself. The problem isn't your opinion. Everybody's got them. That's not the problem. But it may be your problem when your opinion is the only voice in the room. The only thing that you have, the answer to your question or your decision is your own. That might be when it can become a problem. Doing life alone can feel strong. Sometimes you can feel lonely, but sometimes you can kind of get in your head so much where you're like, I got this by myself. I did this all by myself. I made this decision by myself. And you can feel strong. You can feel mature. You can feel independent. But it's actually how we end up convincing ourselves that the wrong road is right. Because there's no way to say, hey, have you thought about this? There's no way to ask somebody outside of your situation if you're just inside your situation answering your own question. Proverbs 15:22 talks about this. It says, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. Does anybody here have a plan? I mean, you probably plan on waking up tomorrow and plan on eating breakfast, plan on brushing your teeth, hopefully, plan on playing video games or plan on going shopping for school. You plan on doing something. Now, those are very small plans, but a lot of us have plans for our life. You plan to be a doctor, or you plan to be an engineer, or you plan to go into the armed forces, or you plan to go to college. You have these plans, but if you fail a lack of counsel, so if you fail asking somebody, it's like what a school counselor is it's somebody that you can go to talk to. That's kind of what they're supposed to be for. They're a little bit different now, but what a counselor is, and the root of it, is somebody that you can talk to and they can help you through that situation. So if you have a lack of that, your plans will fail. But with many advisors, when you get to college, honestly, I think it's honest when y'all get to high school as well, or when you're in high school, you have advisors, but you see it a little bit more in college, before you go to the next semester, you have to meet with an advisor. And what this advisor is supposed to do is advise you and tell you which classes you're supposed to take, which ones don't make sense right now, which ones you'll probably take in the future because they're a little bit more advanced, and what these classes will teach you. That is what an advisor does. And so with many of these in your life, the Bible says right here that you will succeed. God's design for good decisions is not a solo sport. He puts wisdoms inside people that we talk to, and then he tells us to go get it. Go ask. Go seek counsel. Seeking wise counsel is not asking people that are stuck in the same hole as you. Let's say me and my friends are stuck in a hole. If I turn to them and say, how can we get out of this hole? And they're like, dude, I was going to ask you the same question. You can't ask people that are in the same hole, how do you get out of it? Because they're in the hole as well. The best way to do that is ask people that are what? Outside of the hole, how to get out of it. And so inviting people who are further down the road, who have gone through life, who have gone through the highs and lows, who are older than you, who are more mature than you, who love Jesus, and who love you enough to tell you the truth about your decision, that is the people that you need to seek wise counsel, who you need to ask for their advice. And so I have a question for you, is who are the 2 or 3 wise people in your life that you actually go to before a big decision? You might say, well, I haven't had a big decision yet. Okay, let's say a big decision does come up. Who is the people that you can think of right now that you can go to and talk to, and they're going to be honest with you? They're going to give you biblical truth about the decision that you have to make. And not only that, they're going to pray for you through your decision making, because sometimes the decision is not just one and done. It's like, okay, cool, I made a decision. Awesome. Sometimes the decision takes a little while. It takes a few steps for you to go through and do it. It could be a parent. It could be a leader in your life. It could be one of your youth leaders. It could be a mature friend. Now, I'll be careful with that last one, because some people, you can say they're a mature friend, but they're honestly not that mature. They're just knowledgeable in certain situations that they probably shouldn't be knowledgeable in. And so you have to be careful with that last one. But most definitely a parent, a leader, or a mentor in your life that you look up to. Those are good people to ask. And 9 times out of 10, they're not going to say no when you go up to them and ask for advice. Honestly, people love being asked questions. Somebody asks, hey, what should I do here? Most people like to advise because it makes people feel good. It's good to help other people. So if you can't name at least 2 people, I encourage you to pray about it, to think about it, to make a list of names and scratch them out of ones that don't. No, not that one. This one, no, I can't do that one. Oh, that one. And just try to think about people in your life that you can go to. I have people in my life that I can go to. And honestly, for different situations, I may have different people. If it's something regarding ministry, I'm going to go to Pastor David. That's going to be my main one. He's going to be my biggest one that I go to because he has done a lot more ministry than me, and he is one of my mentors. So in regards to ministry, he's going to be one of the first people that I go to. In regards to maybe finances or business related topics, I'm honestly going to go to Creed's dad, because Creed's dad, Mr. Mike, has ran successful businesses. He has done a lot more life with me in regards to those situations. And both of those people, both Pastor David and Mr. Mike, are very godly people that will give me God's truth along with what they've gone through in regards to my decision that I have to make. The goal of seeking wise counsel isn't just smart choices. We're not trying to just be the smartest. It's having a humble heart saying, hey, I can't do this alone. I need your help. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with asking for help at all. As we can kind of get in the mindset of, I don't want to be needy. I don't want people thinking that I don't have it all figured out. I want everybody to think that I got everything going for me. I make my own decisions and my life's great. That's not the way we're supposed to live, because honestly, you'll just end up being miserable. Now, I'm not saying go around to everybody and be like, oh, I have to make this huge decision. This is horrible. And then just sit and mope to all of your friends. But go to those people that I talked about. And so next time you're at a crossroads, trying to decide which route to go, the path, trying to make a decision that affects your life in the big or in the small, you have to make the decision first to not decide alone, to seek that counsel that I just talked about, and to go over those verses that I all just went through. And by doing that, you'll start to see that life gets a little bit easier. You'll start to see that you'll have peace about certain situations. And eventually, later down the road, you can be the advisor to somebody else because you've done it. Because you've asked. If you want to be a teacher and you've never been taught, you can never be a teacher because you don't know anything. So sometimes you have to be taught before you can be the teacher. And it's the same way with here. If you want to be a preacher, you have to be preached to. If you want to be a prayer, well, helps to be prayed over and learn how to do all these things. And so that's with everything with life. If you want to help people make decisions, then you need to get people to help you with some of your decisions. And then pray about it. Seek wise counsel, and then seek God about it. Because sometimes we'll go to people, and we have to be careful. We'll go to people, and we'll ask for their advice, and we want a yes or no. And honestly, if we go to somebody and they give us a yes or no on this huge decision, they're probably not the best person to go to. Sometimes the best people to go to are the people that talk it through with you. Say, okay, well, if you choose yes, this is what will happen. If you choose no, this is what will happen. You don't want anybody to make your decision for you. You just want counsel. You want help. You want advice. An advice is not a decision. And so they can lean you towards, they're like, hey, look, I think that the answer is yes. This is probably why I think it, but hey, I'm not going to say for you to go yes. If you do not feel peace about yes, then no, honestly, it's not a bad idea either. Some decisions, yes and no, it's fine. And so then after that, you take their advice and you do what with it? You sit in prayer with it and see which path is the correct one.